What is your leadership style? Is it coaching? Authoritative? I like authoritative. Fellow Toastmasters, most honored guests, I'm going to take you in a ride to the past, to the late 70s and the early 80s. At that time, my children were growing up, and I needed to do something about it because I was very authoritative. If they did something that I had not said, or if they did not do what I told them to do, they got into trouble right away. I was driving my wife, Tina, crazy. And of course, my 3 children were already crazy. And take, for example, that time when I had to ask someone to help me because I didn't have a car. I was at work and my car was in the shop. So I called my daughter, she was 17 years old at the time, Patty, and she gladly came over to take me home. And as she drove back home, I was sitting in the passenger side, we took the freeway, the I-60. And as we approached Rural Road, I said to her, exit here. And she said, no, Dad, I prefer to exit in my McClintock. I became speechless. Why wouldn't she do what I was telling her to do? She didn't obey me. I didn't say anything until she finally exited on McClintock. And I said, stop the car. And I grabbed my briefcase that was very heavy, and I said, I'm walking home. You go any way you want to go. Patty looked at me and said, Dad, do you want to drive? Did I make you mad? I said, I don't want to drive. You go any way you want to. I got out and started walking. And very soon, I felt regrets. And also, I felt the heat. It was about 110 degrees or something like that. I don't know. It was hot. I started sweating profusely. And the worst thing was that it was going to take me I was away about 7 miles from my house. And I said, oh my God, I didn't realize that. It was going to take me over an hour to get there. And with that heat and with my briefcase, you can imagine what was going on. Finally, I said, well, I'll go faster. And I started going faster, but I got tired right away. But then, I see a car. It's my wife's car. She comes to the rescue. I get into the car, and I want to give her a hug, and she said, no, you're too sweaty. So we go home. My kids are there. I give a hug to Patty, and they all started laughing. They laughed at my style that I have. And I promised them right in there that I was going to change. But I had promised that about 100 times already. But this time I meant it. I started looking for something. I started reading, I started listening to motivational speeches. My favorite was Jim Rohn. He died, so he was probably, you guys didn't know him, but he was an excellent motivational speaker. And in one of the tapes that I was listening, he mentioned the qualities of a good parent. He said, empathy, patience, and trust. But then he mentioned another phrase that I had not heard before. if it is to be, it is up to me. I got it. I can use empathy with my children. I can use patience, and I can trust them. And then, if everything goes well, we might be able to see the manifestation of the spirit of that phrase. If it is to be, it is up to me. I didn't know it then, but I was looking at the possibility of changing my leadership styles from authority, oh my God, you can say that word, to coaching. And gradually, I was able to do it. It worked. But don't take my word for it. Because there is a lot of evidence that coaching really works. Not only with your children, but also with other people, with your whatever mentees that you have. There are evidence such as the professional athletes like Tiger Woods or the two sisters, Venus and Serena. These athletes were discovered by their parents, and the parents are the ones that coach them because they discovered their innate talents and they developed them. And you can see Tiger Woods, that he was one of the best golfers in the world. And the Serena and Venus are also very capable playing tennis. They've won the Grand Slam many times. Think about your leadership style. Even if it's not coaching, consider it. It works. You already saw the evidence. Start with empathy for your mentees. Continue with being patient, and then also trust your mentees. And eventually you will be able to say, if it is to me, if it is to be, it's up to me.